weeks later.
So this week has been a hectic schedule. There were lots of tasks given, and but it's okay. At least tas nakutulin sa akong DTR. One of the domains of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers, or PPST, is assessment and reporting. So, feedback is a must for improved learning. So, I have been checking my students' outputs for 2 weeks now, and it really takes a lot of time since you have to read all the works, identify or analyze whether their answers is correct or not, and sometimes you really have to gauge the ideas of your students. When it comes to science, it's really hard to put the learning of a child inside a box. To put it simply, it is impossible to limit the observations and understandings of a child. For example, this Q1 Activity 3, what's going on in the picture? Question number 3 states that in this situation, can you say that the floor exerts a force on the ball equal to the ball's force on the floor? Why or why not? Basing on the Newton's law of motion, the third law, the law of action reaction. The child's answer is that this entirely depends on the elasticity of the ball. If it's perfectly elastic, it will bounce back. If it's perfectly inelastic, it will not bounce back. It would just bounce in a short height that eventually stay on the ground. The correct and ideal answer should have been yes, because as the ball touches or bounces on the floor pushes it back with an equal and opposite force. Now back to the student's answer. Though his answer is a correct answer, well, theoretically, but it went beyond the discussion on the three laws of motion. And that's the problem when checking the student's work. It's hard to decide what score to give because the answer may be theoretically correct, but it does not fit in the discussion of the class. Another problem I encountered are the wrong submissions of outputs. You need to follow them up by messaging them one by one. If you're lucky, you'll receive their immediate response, but if not, then you'll have to wait for a long time to receive a reply, or you won't even receive any. So my role this week would be an updater. I would follow up all the works of the students, especially that next week would be the start of the commencement of their performance task, and there will be more paperwork to be submitted and more to be checked and graded.